Hey guys, how you doing? So nice to bump into you. What's been happening?
Busy.
Yeah.
All work and no play.
I know, right? End of Jan feels like it's been an entire year already.
Beginning of year fatigue. That's where I am.
I kind of feel like I'm in June already.
No, yeah.
January is so many
The first 45 days of January have been tough,
Yeah.
but all good. So nice to see you, like really good. Yeah. Guys, I just wanted to kind of catch up. It was nice to bump into you, just start talking about some marketing trends. I mean, there's been so much happening in the world of marketing, the world of technology even, right? Like, just been nuts with DeepSeek and someone joking that, you know, ChatGPT has just lost a job to AI, which I thought was hilarious. But maybe I can just touch base with each of you. Like, what are you seeing as some of the biggest marketing trends at the moment? What's really shaping what's happening? So Chaba, let's hear from you.
I think it's a panic. It could be a trend between marketers, like you just said, depending on how you embrace the emerging technologies, and then what you need to make sure that you get on top of. Like you just spoke about now, ChatGPT was like the thing, and suddenly artificial intelligence is democratizing how information is accessed, packaged, and then played out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, AI is a beast, right? And you constantly feel like you don't know enough and you're not staying here. Every other day there's an update to it and something new that it can do. But what I'm really loving about some of the trends that I'm seeing now is how the AI tools are starting to link to each other. So the way that you can use one to inform the other, and just come up with some really, really beautiful ideas and thought starters.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I'm seeing right now is, just speaking to what he's saying, is that panic around are you doing enough?
Yeah.
Are you ahead of it? Like, the minute you do something you think is groundbreaking, someone else is doing something even better. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
it's a journey.
it keeps you on your toes.
For sure.
I love that. I thought the biggest trend we were going to discuss was AI, but it really is panic related to AI. For me, I think what is not nerve-wracking or concerning, but panicked about AI, is that idea around homogenization, where we're all using the same AI tools. And I mean, AI is really only as good as the input that you put in.
Yeah.
But if everyone's inputs are a little bit generic, you start to see a lot of the same stuff coming out. Small example, you get a submission of work from your team and you read it and you know immediately, this is ChatGPT, or now this is DeepSeek, without really putting in that additional creativity, without, kind of personalizing the inputs to you or to your brand. And I think that's what's going to separate the good marketers from the panicked.
And also the good ones from the great ones, right?
Yeah.
Because I think what's so important is understanding that these tools are there to kind of form a basis, but you still need to make it your own, but you also need to take it to the next level.
Yes.
So priming some of these tools with your own thought starters and what you want to get out of it. Because it's easy to say, ChatGPT, put in, develop a brief to an agency for a digital marketing plan for 947, for example. And that it'll spit in less than 2 minutes, it'll spit something beautiful out. But there's these little nuggets that you find that come out of these tools that are not always relevant to what you need to do.
Yeah, and I find there's a bit of a mistake that people think it's just easy, right? Put it in, come up with a really cool image and some copy and all that sort of thing, and it's just going to be super creative. I learned a pretty hard lesson on it yesterday. I'd used ChatGPT to come up with a poem about one of the events that we're doing, and I put it on, and I was like, is this cheesy or cool? It got panned. Like, it was a brutal lesson. Someone was actually kind enough to say, this doesn't really work for your brand. And and also, like, LinkedIn was just like, we are not pushing this
completely
anyway. So I think it's kind of that trap of, let's use this, it's going to be super cool and it's super easy, but actually it can turn out to be a bit of a shocker if you don't manage it.
I think for when your work comes through, we almost be like professors at academic institutions that are also dealing with how do you differentiate the critical thinking, original thinking that comes from the students, so that when you do approve work, that it's not a duplicate and a copy of something else. You get embarrassed when it comes up, and suddenly it's like, how come I missed this? And here I am just playing back something that will possibly appear to be plagiarized or very similar to something else, which then doesn't make your work unique. So the pressure is on the people who can best use that as a tool to still just make sure that the insights and the knowledge that they have on your branded business come to the fore.
And I think as senior marketers, that idea around human oversight needs to always be pushing through. I don't think AI is coming to take our jobs. I think that we need to it's going to help us make our jobs better.
Which then talks to the fact that as senior marketers need to take time and really pause and think. Because if they're always in a rush, they'll be similar to the people who are just inputting stuff in and then sending it. And trust me, when there's an error, they'll say the client approved it. And then when you are the most senior person that will have given your signature to it, then it becomes a little bit awkward. But just slowing things down, really thinking and making sure that the basics and the fundamentals of good marketing are still in place before work goes out. So
Yeah. Well, I think that's cool. I think it's about taking the time. I think everybody thinks this is just going to make campaigns come out quicker, all that sort of thing. But if you rush it, it's actually going to fall flat. So you can kind of speed up towards the end, but take the time to really think what you want to use it for, and keep that human sort of creativity and that sort of, I guess, that authenticity in it.
Yeah.